How's the team news during Timber? Any closer?
Yes, everybody's fit and available, so now is the headache to make the right selection.
Good headache.
Good headache.
Your game is first of the afternoon. Do you prefer that? Just get your job done?
It's what it is. We played in many different scenarios this season, and we are clear. Our job is clear. We have to win our game, and then we have to wait, and the only thing that we can focus on is on that.
Media reports suggest you're close to signing Jorginho on a new contract. Any more on that, and how much would you love to keep him? He's been a great signing.
I would love to keep him. He knows that, and the club is fully supportive of that. He's a really important player with us on and off the field, and he makes us better, so we want him to stay.
16 goals from corners this season. 16. That is quite unbelievable. I see some of the goals, the individual goals from corners, the players doing different things, and just tell us more on that and the success. And those set pieces could potentially win you big trophies. And
it's an accumulation of a lot of things. We work in a lot of phases of play and things that, in our opinion, can help us to be more competitive, to win more matches, and certainly set pieces are something fundamental in football.
Declan Rice, voted second in the Football Writers Player of the Year. What an amazing signing he's been. I just want to talk more about him. And I know it was a longish process in the summer, but what a brilliant signing he's been.
Yeah, he's been great. He's had such an impact from day one. It's not easy when you come from a club that you've been there for a long time, but his set's already good. He's a great group. I think they've been really, really supportive with him as well. And there are players that they just come in and glide, and they become part of it straight away. I remember a conversation I had with him. We were still in the US in pre-season, and I think it was 8-9 days. And he said, it feels like I've been here for 2 years, so that's a good sign.
Tomorrow, Man City Wolves, if you get your job done, what are you going to do? You're going to watch it at home, go out for dinner, or go out for dinner and watch it on your phone? What are you going to do?
If I can, I watch them. I love watching great games, and obviously it's a lot of stake. And let's do what we have to do first.
Cheers, Mikel.
Thank you.
Alex from PLB.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Bournemouth having a great season, record number of points. I know you know him well, but what do you make of the job that Antonio Raiola has done?
A fantastic job. To come into the Premier League and know what he's done, huge credit to him, the coaching staff, and the players, obviously. They have a difficult start. They kept doing what they believed in, and huge credit. It's unbelievable what they've done in the manner that they've done it as well, which is, in my opinion, very important as well. And yeah, congratulate them, because it's a fantastic achievement.
97th minute winner scored against them last season. What are your memories of that game? Do you like winning like that?
Well, I had a great memory because the game ended up in a really beautiful way, and it was one of the highlights of the season. So we know we're going to have to earn it tomorrow again. It's going to be a really tough match, but the team is ready.
How important is that never say die attitude at this stage of the season? Always.
Well, at any stage, but now, obviously, with what is there to win, we know that you're going to have to win games in different ways, and that can be won. And hopefully tomorrow it's not that, but if it has to be to win it, welcome.
How much are the players enjoying this running?
Yeah, the energy is really good. We just had a training session, and the energy was fantastic again. They're really at it. They are really enthusiastic. We're going to give it a real go.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Brad talks more.
Hi Mikel,
Hi.
hope you're well. You passed 100 Premier League wins with that win over Tottenham Hotspur last week. You're the youngest manager to have achieved that. I just wondered how much that means to you, and how proud you are of the progress the team has made during your time here.
Yeah, that's a contribution for a lot of people that in this journey has been extremely supportive, and obviously helps you to win games. So gratitude towards that, and it's just hopefully the beginning of something much bigger that can bring trophies, which is what we want.
Bukayo Saka said after the game last week that he felt the side had learnt lessons from last year. What changes have you noticed in the group this season?
Well, some of them are noticeable, but some others are as well related to what is happening in games, that it is different what was happening last year at Spurs as well. We had a very different game to the one that we had the previous year or against any other rivals, but we managed the situation quite well. It could have been better, and there's always room for improvement, But I think the team is more mature. Obviously, the health and condition of the squad is in a much better place right now. And all these factors, I think, contribute to be in a better position.
I want to take you back to Declan Rice as well, because he's spoken recently about the excitement he felt when he heard about Arsenal were interested in him in his first conversations with you. Obviously, he played in a slightly different role at West Ham, where he was a bit more defensive, but here he's been allowed to get forward a lot more. Just how coachable has he been for you during your time working with him?
Yeah, that's the right word. He was really enthusiastic, eyes open, ears open, very willing to learn, to take information, and on top of that as well, you need to absorb an enormous amount of responsibility and expectations, and that's a difficult bag sometimes to carry, and he's done it in a really composed and calm way, and that's very impressive because he's still a really young player.
And lastly, before he came to Arsenal, one thing that was always said about him was that he needs to score more goals by some people. He's got 6 this season. How much more do you think there is to come from him there?
I think there is much more there. We have to put in more situations for him to exploit that talent that he has. He needs to recognize as well certain situations earlier. He needs to build that relationship and chemistry within the units that he's playing with, something that is still quite raw, and especially with the amount of change that we made in that left side this season. So all this is going to contribute for his development, and hopefully we can see much more.
That's great. Best luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
George BBC.
Mikel, I know
Hi.
you don't do ifs, but if Partey and Timber have played a lot more this season, just how many extra points do you think they could be worth? And it's a shame, really, you haven't been able to get them out. How crucial could they be for the last few games?
Do you have a coin? Ding! I have no clue. We have missed them because when you have them around, at the end the team is more competitive, there is more quality there, there is more leadership there. That's for sure. But to be honest as well, the players that they played in their position, they've been exceptional. So let's see. Now, probably your question in 3-6 months' time when they have played hopefully a lot of games, I can be more concrete.
If you win tomorrow, I think it's a Premier League record for Arsenal's wins. But what have you said to the players with 3 games to go about just seizing the moment with what's left?
Absolutely. Just focus and put all your energy and focus in finding that determination and that willingness to do our best to earn the right to win games. And the first one is Bournemouth. It's at home. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere again towards the game, and just be present and be in the moment, and let's see what happens.
And just in terms of Iraola, when he took over, he had a sort of bad spell at the beginning, 10 games, and then I think now they would be 5th in the league if the season started in November. Did you speak to him in those first 10 games, and like how can the team just change so much?
Yeah, and especially after our game, and they had a really difficult start in terms of fixtures as well, and that was a huge factor. But you could see that the team was always close to getting results and creating a lot of problems to opponents, and credit to him. He stood with his beliefs. He's a really good coach. He's a great person. I know since we were very little. And yeah, I wish him all the best.
And did you speak in that 10 game period where he had a bit of trouble?
No, we spoke after the game, especially after our game. And yeah, when you are in those periods, sometimes you don't want to speak to nobody, But we had a little conversation there, and as well about my experiences and what I've been through, and sometimes helps.
Mark PA.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You've obviously had 2 massive London derby wins against Chelsea and Spurs.
Yeah.
Do you ever say anything to the players to make sure they treat tomorrow's game just as importantly as those 2 more eye-catching fixtures?
That was the first thing that we did, is just try to read, where's the spirit, where's the energy. They were talking about it already. Now it's Bournemouth. It's going to be even more important. Now we have momentum. Now we have to keep going. So they know what is at stake.
A lot's been said about the 3-2 last year, the way you came back and the result. I suppose from your perspective tomorrow, you'd be happy if it was boring, as long as there's 3 points. You don't need a 97th minute winner, do you? You'd be happy if it was just a boring win.
I have a different game in my head for tomorrow, but yeah, we're going to have to perform really well tomorrow and be at our best. And if we do that, we have a really good chance of winning the game.
I suppose at this point of the season, any little positive can help lift the players that little bit extra. So having Jurien back after such a long time out, can that even give the rest of the squad a bit of a boost?
It does, because it increases the quality of the training sessions for sure. You see how commandative, his leadership, his quality, and the rest, they have to lift it up, and they start to demand more for each other, and they look at each other and they say, I better be good because I want to keep playing, and this is all very positive for the squad.
Simon, standard.
Just on Jurien, Mikel, obviously these are 3 high-profile, big-stake games. Do you feel, though, he's got that rhythm that he can make an impact, even if it's for sort of a 20-minute period?
We're not going to know that till we throw him there. And it's tricky because it's only 3 games to go. It means 8 months of football. He's played only 150 minutes of football with the under-21s. Yeah, it's a question that has to be resolved only by throwing on the pitch and see what happens. And we have to try to nail that decision when.
Just one on David Raya, who can win the Golden Glove this season, which seems like quite an achievement given his missed games, difficult start to the season. I know there's that option on his loan to take up. Is it your expectation that will happen and that he'll be sort of here next week?
Those conversations are for after the season. We will review where we are. Obviously, we are really happy with David and everything that is brought to the club, to the team. There's no question about it. But all those decisions are to be made between all of us at the club, and we will see.
There's a question here from Norway, VG.
Yes, hi, Miguel.
Hi.
Andreas from Norwegian VG. Multiple people in and around the club describes your captain, Martin Ødegaard, as very humble in his way of treating people off the pitch. We all know his abilities on the pitch, but what can you say of his abilities off it?
I said many times, he's a great character, a great person to have around. I think represents the values of our club in the best way, and yeah, he keeps maturing. He's going to have some personal experiences in the next months that I think is going to make him some very good, I think, for his progression as well as a person. We are here to help him.
You say he has matured. He came very early in your period at the club. In what areas could you say he has changed, or, as you say?
Well, when you mature in everything, personally, professionally. Obviously, in his role in the team is very different to the role that he had when he joined us on loan. He's our captain right now. He's been our captain now for a while, and he's a really respected player. I keep performing in a way that not many can do at this level.
At this level, it's always about reaching the next level. With Martin, what can he improve, even though he's had an absolutely great season?
We don't know what the level that they can reach at the end. What we try to provide, my job is to give players the right foundations so they can grow, and then create environment and inspire them and support them, that they can feel that they have the wings to fly wherever they want. And this is what I have to do. Give them that foundations and then believe them that they can always get better, and that the limit is put in relation to where they look at it. And Martin certainly is very, very ambitious.
There's a few hands up. We might not be able to get through everyone, so we're going to Art first.
Just on relationships you were talking about earlier, with Martin on that right, with Bukayo, I was just wondering how you've seen that, I guess, relationship grow wings, as you call it, and blossom, because it seems like a key kind of relationship for the team.
Yeah, but that's when you build the chemistry of the field. That is something already very strong. And when you take that to the field, when you add minutes, when you add understanding, training sessions, and good level of communication between them, those are very good ingredients to improve and keep developing and keep understanding each other better. And that certainly happens. The same with Ben, because they have played the 3 of them in that side for a long time right now. So yeah, it's quite solid at the moment.
So what are those 3 like off the pitch together then?
Yeah, they're very, very close. Obviously, they spend a lot of time together off the field as well, and that's something really important. You can tell the way they communicate with each other, the way they look at each other, that there is something special there.
And just on Jurien, obviously the 21s have a game tonight, so would that be, has he already played too many games for them, or are you ready to see him back?
He won't be playing that game tonight, no.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, last couple. We'll first go to Kyle and then James. Kyle?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Last season's game against Bournemouth was obviously crazy in so many ways, but there's been less of those kind of games this season. There's been more control. I know Spurs on Sunday was a bit more like that, but generally this season it's been a lot more calmer in the games. Do you think that maybe cost you a bit last season, having that many sort of helter-skelter matches? And do you think maybe one of the reasons why you've improved so much this season is you've had calmer games for the most part?
Yes, obviously the probability of winning matches when you leave it so late is less, and we've been better this season at deciding matches much earlier, and probably that's a good sign for the team that can dominate and control the games and decide games earlier, and hopefully we can do the same in the last remaining fixtures.
Do you think in the long run maybe that's giving your team a bit more energy towards the end of the season, the lack of maybe emotional exhaustion from those kind of fixtures? Yeah,
obviously when you play every 3 days and the more the stress and the more physical demands, mental demands you put to the later stage of matches, there is an accumulation there, and you see that the teams that normally they get to the last stages, how dominant they are in the leagues, when they win the matches, the subs that they make. Yeah, that's something that is pretty relevant, I think.
James, yes, again.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
There have been reports this week suggesting the club might listen to offers for Gabriel Jesus this summer. Is that accurate?
I don't know where this is coming from.
So you have no intention of letting him go this summer?
No.
And I know you were asked a lot about Pep. Do you speak to each other during the run-in? Do you have a sort of an agreement where you kind of part your friendship?
It doesn't work. We don't have an agreement. It's just in a natural way. When something happens, we communicate to each other when it's necessary, obviously when we play against each other as well. But we all understand the situation, and there are other moments as well to talk and be yourself.
And just finally for me, Jurgen Klopp's been speaking this morning about, he's been critical again of the 12:30 Saturday slot as a time to play.
Mm-hmm.
I just wondered if it was something that you'd like to see removed in future. Is it something that, how big a problem is the 12:30 slot in general?
Well, I think probably when we have discussed that slot, it was relating more after Champions League fixtures, and then the recovery time. I think that slot is a slot. I think is within the culture of this country and the Premier League, and it's important to have it. And there are other bigger issues, in my opinion.
Okay, we'll go to 10:30 tonight.